Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ambassadors of Gaming channel. I'm Ambassador Michael and today I'm going to narrate some thoughts Darrell has for you regarding Resident Evil Village. This will be one out of 3 videos we have for Resident Evil Village. Darrell's doing the impressions, I will do the full-on review, and then Adam is going to do a final kind of cap piece video on how Resident Evil Village fits in with the rest of the series. So, Darrell has to say many things. Let's just get right to what he has to say. Resident Evil returned with the 8th main installment, 9th if you include 0 this past week. Resident Evil Village continues on with the story of Ethan Winters, who we last saw in Resident Evil Biohazard or Resident Evil 7. Like that game, we are still in the first-person mode. The game is set 3 years after the events in Louisiana with the Baker family in Resident Evil 7, and set in a very creepy European village. Straight away, the setting gives us a vibe to Resident Evil 4, which was also using a similar European setting. This game also used that game for inspiration and started development before the release of 7. This is where Ethan is looking for answers. If you played the demo, you have a brief view of what you're looking for. The story from start to finish is incredibly well written. It's very much classic Resident Evil and up there with the best in the series in regards to what the plot is. But it needs more than a story, and did Capcom deliver? Visually, it is an absolute masterpiece. I played through on Xbox Series X with ray tracing on, and it was a joy to look at, and visually it portrayed the atmosphere incredibly. I also played the demo on PS5, and it seemed fairly identical on both. The audio is fantastic. The sound effects are well designed so you can hear enemies near, but not sure when and where they will spring from. The music during more intense scenes is on point as well. Add to the very striking and detailed visual aspect, we have a very creepy village and surrounding areas such as the infamous Castle Dimitrescu, home to one of the most memorable creatures in the franchise. She is a 9-foot 6-inch tall vampire-esque character who will stalk and hunt you, very similar to Mr. X from Resident Evil 2, with inspiration from the infamous Elizabeth Bathory and some inspiration from Ramon Salazar, who fans know from Resident Evil 4. And when she is close, you can hear her pacing throughout the castle. As we know, it's still first person, which worked well previously, and this time we have a crafting system, so we can craft first aid, ammo, explosives, and such, like the bombs and the mines. We have a merchant where we can purchase ammo and upgrades, and as well sell treasure. Anyone remember the merchant from Resident Evil 4? He can also cook dishes from animals found in the village later on, such as fish or poultry. The meals can increase your health or can make you run quicker, for example. All are optional, but again, very beneficial. You can have 4 weapon shortcuts, but you can temporarily equip mines or bombs depending on what you're doing. Much easier than having to switch shortcuts and then switch back. Ethan can also guard against attacks like he could in 7 and push them back, allowing him some breathing space. Combat can be more action-based in 7. At times it feels more like you're playing Resident Evil 4, but at the same time it holds its own unique identity. It has the essence of Part 4, but doesn't completely rip that game off. So we see visually, sound-wise, and story-wise the game hits all the plus points, and the gameplay works amazingly well. And the additions such as crafting and the merchant really improve what 7 developed into a much more rounded game. It's a more open world, which means a lot more exploration, but it holds true to the heart of what Resident Evil is and what it is at its core. We do have replayability due to the fact that we have challenges to unlock, which include bonus art or new weapons and infinite ammo, and the Mercenaries mode. And some of these challenges are looking pretty tough, like beating the game in under 3 hours or only using close quarter combat weapons such as knives. Do I recommend this? Well, it's a resounding yes. It's the best new release in the franchise since Resident Evil 4 for me, and that game is just over 16 years old. If you're also planning on getting on newer generation hardware, there's not much to choose between the 2 versions other than the support for DualSense on the PS5 with the haptic feedback. And the game being put on last-gen hardware does not have any negative aspect to current generation versions, though I can't comment on how it performs on those systems, but the community doesn't seem to be unhappy with those versions. But the game is a gem, and it will be on the best of 2021 list for sure, and if not, we have some incredible games coming anyways. So, lots to devour there from Darrell's statement. Of course, he has some screenshots for you, as always. We will try to keep these as spoiler-free as possible, so that anybody who may still haven't had the chance to play the game or is on the fence about purchasing the game will have the chance to check it out and hopefully use this as a guide to whether or not it's a worthwhile purchase for them. So until next time, friends, I'm Ambassador Michael. These were Darrell's thoughts, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.